Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting list video. I'm just going to say at the start, bear with me because this one's going to be a little bit of a technical nightmare. So cards are going to be big, cards are going to be small, but there's going to be cards on the screen, I promise you. Today, we have done a group ranking of all of the customizable cards. So each customizable card can score out of a score of 30. Some got... Some got good scores, some got bad scores.
Oh no.
So why don't we just start with our first card, which is the Hyper Physical Shotcaster. So we rated these all in these 10, how much we like them, yada yada yada.
That's the total, Justin.
This Hyper Physical Shotcaster, it got a score of 3 out of 30.
Yeah.
We all gave this one a 1, which is the first time this has ever happened.
It's not technically the lowest possible score because Justin has displayed that he's willing to play this game in fractions.
Well, that is true. Yeah, it actually, there, you know.
But
One and a half out of 30.
Yeah. So, Bryn, why did you give this one a 1? I'm just kind of, I imagine it's very similar to what we have.
So, like, there's too many words, firstly. Like, I can't read that much. I haven't got time for that. I can look at the picture and I need to know what it does from that. And this has too many words for me to do that.
Common complaint.
Yeah, that's going to be a common complaint throughout a lot of these.
But also, I feel like this one sort of ruins the structure of the game, where they're like different colors of guys are good at different things. And with Hyper Physical Shotcaster, they're like, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
I'm in a very similar boat. I do, well, before we recorded, Bryn did say I can understand that this card, like, probably does a good job in solo, but... As Travis is about to say, we don't believe... Travis doesn't believe solo players exist.
They've clearly abandoned solo players.
Yeah. I just don't like this card. I think it's just kind of very messy. Yeah. And I don't even see, like I try with every card to find a reason of why I may want to play this. And with this one, I have no interest, because even then I'm like, you know what? It gets discarded, which immediately I think, hey, would I want to ever play this in Will Yorick? And the answer is still no, I don't want to.
Yeah, this card actually fails on every possible level for me. It's convoluted. It's a space gun in like 1920s, so screw that. And also, I think it's kind of bad. It's also like doesn't do anything neat. It's just lets you play the game differently.
Yeah.
Horrible design.
All right, we're gonna go into the next card, which is this guy right here. Like I said, cards are gonna get big.
Oh, it's the baby one.
Cards are going to get small, but cards are here most of all. Look how small it gets. Okay.
Nice.
that's okay.
Alright.
You can still read it about as good.
So Summon Servitor. I was the generous one for this one. This one actually has a score of 6. I gave this one a 4, and Bryn and Travis each gave it a 1.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine for you two that... I mean, I obviously don't like this card. Like, a 4 is still a pretty low score.
I gave it a lot of 4s.
Yeah.
4-ish.
But I think, like, for me, what made this, like, over Hyperphysical Shotcaster is that I can see a reason, like, I can see the fun in it, right? Like, I can see why people dig it. It's certainly not like, I mean, like, I built a Daisy deck where you use it to just investigate. I do also agree with Travis, and I kind of find it a shame that one of the options is actually a trap for the card, the one where it puts health on it, right? Like, you wouldn't want this thing to die, because as soon as it becomes, like, it's basically, you can just stay in, yeah, you did say that.
Oh.
Yeah. It just...
Okay.
It just kind of stays in play otherwise, right? And then also, I think what really sucks is that this card... let me ask a question to all the people who know the rules for this game. What happens when you're playing Depths of Yoth and you have to reset the map?
Good question.
This thing just
You have
goes.
to discard this because I don't want people playing this card in my campaigns.
Yeah. And... with all that, what also would made me like this better is that if it included a little investigator card that looked like the art. Just because I think that would be
around
fun.
The board is a nightmare.
The boards are already pretty messy in a campaign.
Yeah, and like having to keep track of this dude, but not just like keep track of him, but like where he is into relation to other enemies and like clues and you and your teammates, and it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
If I want to play two-handed, I'll play two-handed. Simple as
Bring
that.
another investigator.
Yeah.
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 So boys playing 4 characters today.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this one's just like, obviously, we as a group cannot keep game state straight with just our own investigators and,
We play this game
the
a lot,
rules. We
man.
play this game a lot, and like, I mean, we do admittedly play a little bit fast and loose,
But still.
I don't think I can keep track of this thing and my turn and
Yeah.
like what the game has to be doing all at the same time.
Yeah.
I think I am incapable of this.
All right, next one rockets right up there to a 9. We got 3 points on this one. So this one is Power Word. And so with this one, I gave it a 3, Travis gave it a 2, and Bryn gave it a 4.
This one exemplifies what I think is like sort of a core fault of the customizable cards, where they are generally, because their flexibility and what they do, they have to be bad at lower levels. Because you can choose how you scale them up. They get very good in a lot of cases, and I think this is going to be a semi-common complaint for some of the other ones, but this one I think is just, it's trash at level 0, it does nothing, basically. But at higher levels, it is too good, and it trivializes the game.
It's actually kind of funny you say that, because to me the ones that I gave my 2 highest rating tos I like because I play them at level 0 and they like stay at level 0 for a long time. Because I agree, like the ones that kind of just suck at level 0, it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, most of them aren't like you're not going to play them in your deck if you don't upgrade them, and then in which case, like, sort of the cost of playing them in your deck is just not there. Yeah, I think this is one of the most egregious examples of that.
Yeah, I gave this one a 4 because it brought the rating to 9, and the cool power word is a 9th level spell.
Oh my god.
I love it.
That's
Great.
all I got.
Perfect. It's
I don't
Such
really
a
like this
brand.
card that much.
all right.
Power word kill is a hell of a drug.
We're going to go on to the next one here, which is Empirical Hypothesis, and the card is big!
Is that your hypothesis, Justin?
Oh no, I'm just happy to see you. This one's also big. All right, so this one, it was a total score of 11. So we're in the top third now, or we're past the bottom third of the score thresholds. I gave it a 6, and Bryn and Travis each gave it. Oh, Bryn gave it a 2, and Travis gave it a 3.
Or we each gave it a 2.5. However,
Yeah,
you used to
yeah,
do
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't
They're
matter.
very similar. This card is very good, I think, but I strongly dislike it for the reason that I just said, where it's like, I mean, this one already is like pretty good at level 0, and it gets like extremely good as you put experience into it, but also it has a million things going on, and it's too much. Like keeping track of what triggers it and whether you've triggered it or whether someone else has triggered it and what you can do with it, it's just too much. I hate it.
Yeah, to me, that's like where I think the card is obviously, it has the potential to be strong. If you can get like multiple evidence on it, it can do a lot of great things.
Even just like triggering it once per turn is very good.
Yeah, but what I hate is that it ends up being like, especially when I'm making content, I'm like, this is always gonna be that. Because I'm never going to remember to say it because I'm too busy moving the game state along.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I was telling Justin while we were doing these, I played this card with my family and having 10 experience into it. And honestly, like I had peer review and like and then moved into a shroud of 3 or higher, and I was just like, between trying to manage the game, what I was doing and answering, like keeping game state proper and stuff like that, I was like, I'm gonna put like alternate between put like 2 and 1 evidence on this every turn, and that's just gonna be how it is.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
like I think this card is very strong, but this is a rating of how much we like them.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you see my previous complaint, we can hardly keep games together just like, doing the fairly basic part of playing the game. We often get, maybe not often, but we sometimes get that wrong. And we've been doing this like every week
Since
for like
2016.
ever.
You guys think
Came out.
I can pay attention to whether Bryn or Justin had 0 cards in their hand at some point while they were at my location
Yeah.
this turn?
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's just a little bit too much to keep track of for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's on next? We got E, which is none other than Makeshift Trap, which is going to get big. As I told you, cards are going to get big. Cards are going to get small. That's just how things are going to work in this video. So for this one, I gave it a 5, Bryn gave it a 1, and Travis gave it a 6 for our score of 12. So Bryn really dragged this one to the bottom of the ocean.
What does this card do, Bryn?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But what I can tell you is that I don't like this card because it came out too late to be in the Home Alone video.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
That is actually great.
Incredible.
So I actually like this one, even though I gave it a 5, because I think that it's like kind of fun, right? It also, to me, feels the one that kind of makes the most sense of being customizable, you know, because you like elaborate and build on your trap. I think what's really making me like it less is that there's no real good home for it. That's kind of like
fair.
for me.
I think it's like also kind of bad.
Oh yeah, that too. It also is kind of bad.
It's like one of the better traps we've seen though. So that's something. But one thing I do like about this is like you generally are gonna have a pretty specific idea for it, and you're going to upgrade it into doing that specific thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like flavor-wise, that specific idea is very similar to my brother's idea of a wasp trap, where he's like, we're going to put some tequila in a bottle, and the wasp is going to stop and drink the tequila, and then he's going to walk over to the pile of salt. And then he's going to be busy looking around for a lemon, but he'll be kind of tipsy, so like he'll walk into this string, and then it'll knock a rock down on top of him.
I think that's flawless.
Crush him, and it'll work every time.
For every single wasp, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to reset it in between.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about this.
Yeah,
game.
okay, that's pretty fair.
So now that Keimani's got tools, Wilson Richards is probably going to be the trap man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's just gonna be able to play all
He's
the
gonna be bad.
shotguns.
I mean, even if he has like the ability to like play a trap fast on his turn, or like pay a fast or one less if it's already fast, you know, we could see the trap man do some things.
Trapman Carruthers.
All right, what number was that? That was E. So what's after E? F. Well, F is none other than
E.
same size. Alchemical Distillation. So this one, it has a score of 12. I gave it a 5. Travis gave it a 5. Bryn gave it a 2. I imagine the similar to last one is just.
Bryn, what's this card do?
I didn't even know this card existed until Justin was like, what do we think of Alchemical Distillation? Like, actually 15 minutes ago. And I'm still not entirely sure. I know you test book and you get to do things based on the result of that test.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
like, there's a lot of words, and I'm never going to play with this card, so.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about this one is like, again, it's just too much stuff. Like the strength in this card is generally its flexibility, and so like having to pass the book test. Oh, can I do this thing? Oh, let me check my other card, and what else can it do? And is this what I want to do this turn? It's like.
I think the card's fun when you play with it, but it. To me, what makes me not like it is it takes up a hand slot, and once again, it's kind of just a lot. And most of the time, you end up just like doing like, I guess I'm just gonna like draw 2 cards. Like once again, like it's like a level 0 version that you're just gonna end up like living with. Like even if you have all these other things, you're most likely gonna be like, man, just give me the cards.
One thing I do like about this over a lot of the other customizable cards is like you're you're kind of incentivized to like actually customize it to what you want it to do, like to branch out to certain things as opposed to just making it hyper efficient at the thing that it does.
All right.
You can't make it give you more cards or resources.
We're on to damning testimony.
Oh man, is this one like it's almost the same size too?
I'm getting worried. We're like getting up here in the voting, and I'm like, I still don't like these cards.
No. So this one I got a 13. I gave it the highest rating with 7. Bryn gave it a 2, and Travis gave it a 4. I'll go first because mine is like the positive rating. Because 7 to me is a card that I think like I'd actually just play in a deck, and that's just because like I built a Trish deck. I was theory crafting, and I tied this item into my hiking boot, and ever since then, this card has been in my head.
You tie it to your hiking boot?
Because I, with the hidden pocket, it goes into a clothing item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just this janky ass illicit Trish deck. I think the card's powerful. I think the card will be fun to play in specifically Trish. I think that's the only place I'd find it in. So that's why I like it. I like Trish. I like playing Trish, and I want to play this card in Trish. So that's why I gave it a 7, and that's why I think I like it more than the other ones.
I did consider playing this in Trish for our,
the challenge.
so that way I didn't have to think about what I was going to upgrade.
Yeah, that is easy, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't like this card because it's too complicated. It's like, it's got reminder text and the base ability, and then you can pick like up to, there's like 700 different things it can do.
I mean, I will say I do like the reminder text in the base ability because I want them to put more reminder text in everything. Like, even if they were like,
Yeah, but
exhaust damage decimal, choose an immediate location, investigate, in brackets, your location. Investigating is when you test Book V Shroud. If you succeed, you may spend one evidence to discover one additional clue of the chosen enemy's location. In brackets, not your location.
Yeah, like, I would like more reminder text for stuff, not to that extreme, but like where the game is now, and it's just like this shows me that they know this card is confusing.
That's fair
hard to play with.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if they're gonna put stuff like that on it, that is a fair point.
Yeah.
I do think though that this would be less of an issue if there also wasn't this second card to come with it though, because I do think that the customizable keyword makes us feel like the level 0 version is like even more convoluted.
Like, honestly, I would like to see this card like 2 resources and just without the customizable stuff.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good card.
Yeah. I just don't like this card because it costs 4 money.
4 is a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm paying 4 to investigate and I'm playing green, you can bet your ass I'm playing Pilfer.
That is true. That is true. All right, we're going on to H, which is the H for the small
For
hunter's armor. So with this one, I gave it. It has a score of 15. So this one is a 50%. I gave it a 6. Bryn gave it a 5. Travis gave it a 4. Bryn, why don't you go first?
I just gave this one a 5 because I feel like it's an incredibly fair card. Like all of the effects that you can buy onto it feel very fair for their XP cost. Like if you want to take both your copies of Hunter's Armor and make them into better than what do you call them? Bulletproof vest and
the Elder Sign?
Elder Sign amulet. It costs you 4, and that I think is something that. Well, I mean, it costs you more than 4 because the thing still costs 4 money, so it's not really better. It just does both.
Yeah.
I think it just it feels like a fair thing that blue should be able to do, but also the upgrades are like very straightforward. They're all just like this thing soaks damage. Either it soaks better, or you can play it while you're engaged with an enemy, or like when it soaks, do a thing, and that's it.
That's fair. I do like this is one of my more liked.
No, you know what? 4 is on the higher end.
Yeah. I would say like more liked, but I think it's one of the better designed ones, I guess. My only real complaint about it is like how many of the upgrades modify what's printed on the card. I do not like that at all. Like you look at the card and it's possible that all the relevant things on it are different now. It can the cost doesn't matter, or is like different. The health and stat can be different, and it doesn't take up a body slot, it takes some arcane slot. It could just be a different card.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And then 8, 9.
It's always an item though.
It is
And it's always on armor. Sometimes it's a relic though.
Yeah, only the traits, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's bad.
That's actually fair, yeah.
I do like the idea of like an armor that you can kind of change to be what you like, but yeah, like my cards not being what they say on them, it's one thing to have them have additional text, but to like for the stuff that's on them to not be correct is big no.
I mean, it's pretty okay. Like about half the card stays the same. You've always got the same artwork. And then like you also always have the same pips for committing it.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty cool.
I want them to. There should have just been one like where it's like, plus 1 experience. This gains 2 wild icons.
Just in case you're playing it in like a well prepared deck. And
actually,
I mean, like I would prefer that.
Yeah.
It would like make the card better without just changing what it does.
Well, I give this one a 6. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, it doesn't excite me, and it doesn't anger me, but I do find it funny that you can change literally like everything on the card. I've never realized that, but that is great.
You can even make it have text where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's go to the next one, which is a big Grizzled.
Oh my God,
it's
yeah,
huge. It's ginormous. So Grizzled is the innate skill. I gave it Brendan and I each gave it a 7, I think. Yeah, Brendan and I each gave it a 7. Travis gave it a 3 for a score of 17. So, Travis, why don't you start?
I gave it a 3 mostly for memory issues. Having to have like 4 different traits on it or whatever is miserable, in my opinion. Like even, I mean, 2 traits isn't like the worst because you kind of know what they are, but like if you're, it's just a lot, man.
Yeah. I found an easy fix for
It's
that.
like
though.
every time you draw a card, you have to like check your Grizzled page to see if it's one of those. Yeah, it's also one where I think like as you up, it's like pretty mediocre at level 0, but as it gets better, like it could be potentially too good. Like Mythos Harden is a Berserk effect.
Just trying to see. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even read those because I've only ever played this card in Carson, so the only thing I'm allowed to change about it is 3rd trait. That's it. No further actions, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you don't have the memory issues?
That's the quick fix. Also, like, I have the upside of like I don't have to think about what's in the deck for the campaign I'm playing. I just ask Travis because he'll want the card to be good.
That is fair.
So I don't have to even do that part.
Yeah, this one I actually personally have found memorizing what traits are on the card to be pretty straightforward, but that's also because unlike Travis, I actually am happy to play this card with just 4 traits on it. Like the other stuff's obviously better, but I'm only going to probably play this card in Silas. And the thing about Silas is I am probably going to get this back into my hand if I pass the test without it needing being committed.
Yeah.
I can get it back with a resourceful if I need to, or with my Elder Sign ability. So to me, like I put 3 experience into this and I'm like done. But I mean, I could explore. I mean, I haven't had the chance to explore further, but I think that it's fine as kind of like with very little in it. But that's just because I'd probably only play this in Silas. Yeah. All right, what's next? That one. The other Survivor one. Pocket Multi-Tool. So I think now we're hitting like 17.
I think that's
like,
the right size though, because it's a pocket multi.
It is, yeah. It has to go really.
Just fits in your pocket.
Yeah, it's gotta be
out.
small.
Here, Travis. If
Pocket.
Travis stands up, I can make it small enough to fit in his little pocket. Is Russ in here?
Yeah.
All right, so this one, like we're at 17 now. So these are like good scores. Pocket Multi-Tool
Really
got
good. These are like passing scores, Justin. 50%.
good in comparison to the other ones we have. Like that's in comparison. We're on a what's it called, a curve
Upward
here.
trajectory?
Yeah, no, we're grading on the
Yeah.
curve. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect is just the best result.
Yeah.
That's all.
So
Otherwise,
Pocket
the
Multi-Tool.
test was too hard.
Brendan and I each gave it a 6. Travis gave it a 5 for a score of 17.
Yeah, I just think this one's pretty straightforward. Like you show up, you tick the box that is the thing you care about, and you're like, hell yeah, one of my hand slots makes me good at the thing I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I think that this one, it's not quite as complicated as it looks for similar things like Bren said, but you can like, it's also one of the few that you don't want to like have fully upgraded to get actual use out of it. You can, and like the one where other people can use it is a little tough for me because like, again, it's sort of memory issues. But
Yeah, you're gonna hate this when we play through the Forgotten Age and Justin asks if anyone's got a pocket knife, and I say yes. 'Cause-
it's not a knife, Bren, it's a multi-tool.
yeah, but there is a knife on it,
Yeah.
and if it fits in my knife, there like
Only if you
therefore-
upgrade the knife thing.
Sure, okay, I'll accept.
You
that.
have to do that.
I'll accept that.
And then, yeah, okay.
I've played this one in a few scenarios. I've never upgraded it, and I've never felt like it needed to be upgraded. So that's why I like it, because it's still just fine. I do hate that one of the options was pry bar.
Yeah, that's not a pocket.
Yeah, the second one to get the treachery one, it's pry bar. Just like
What else get going on a multi-tool?
Yeah,
The screwdriver? Nah, that pry bar.
yeah, but I think the card's fine.
yeah. I feel like pry bar is a fair thing to expect someone to have in their pockets if that person is like Daniela Reyes.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
probably like more on the tool belt than in their pocket. But,
Well, I mean, like it's pretty close to the thing, right?
some big pockets.
All
Yeah,
right.
but like, have you ever seen the pockets on overalls? They can be pretty.
They can be pretty big. Yeah. Next one we got is Honed Instinct. Buckle up. This one's going to be huge. That's not that big.
And crooked.
So Honed Instinct,
Oh,
this one was actually kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I give this consistent rating, which I'm happy to see.
Yeah. So Travis gave this one a 2, Bryn gave it a 7, and I gave it a 9. Then this for a score of 18. So this is my personal favorite customizable card, just because I think it is entirely playable as a level 0 card, and I think it's a good green level 0 card. And you know, you can do more. Like, I've upgraded it to do enemy engages you if I'm a goon. I've played it in Tony.
Yeah.
I've played it in Keimani, and it's just great success. And I think that it's just very playable with very little in it.
I think like the enemy engages you upgrade is like very solid for most green investigators, because most of the time you're just like either an enemy, I'll kill it, or an enemy, ick, I don't want to touch that.
And I mean, I think in fairness to what Travis was saying earlier, I do agree that these cards get out of hand when you have 10 experience in them. It does require 10 experience,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
if you put
But you put 10 experience in the card, it's going to get out of hand.
yes, I expect it to be good at this point.
But I also like don't really do that. So like I'm also like looking at a lot of these where like the cards I like the most are the ones where I just think they function as they are, and I like this one a lot for that reason.
No, I think this one does have some cool upgrade options on it too.
That's fair. I just like this one because like you can play on other people's things and you can have a million different triggers for it, and it's just, you know, potential to slow down the game or people miss or misplay because they're like, you know, you want to play it for a certain when during someone's turn, and then you know they do something and you have to go check your list of things that they like triggers it and make sure that it's one of those things. And it's like an appropriate time to play it.
But I think the only one
Like
for
right
that
on the
is
inside of your forearm. And
I think the only one for that is when a location is revealed, right? Enters play, because everything else is you have to do it.
yeah,
Because it's you take damage or horror, an enemy engages you, a treachery enters your threat area, you play an asset. The only one is a location enters player is revealed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the only one that requires... Yeah, I mean, there's a million words on these cards, and the screen's really tiny.
Oh, that's not bad. I probably will give this one a slightly higher rating, like maybe a 4.
Up to the good old... I was going to say up to the good old 4.
Yeah.
yeah, perfect 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like it. I also like the impulse control of being able to get 3 copies of them in your deck. Yeah.
I will say another aspect. I'm not a huge fan of these customizable cards because they're so flexible. They eat up a lot of design space, which leads to like either you can't print things that are better than what they do because then you would just play this one, or you know eventually you print enough cards that fulfill those niches better than this one does, and then you just play the one that you want.
I mean,
and they don't get played.
I actually agree with that completely because like I could see a version of this card that is basically just an enemy engages when an enemy engages you, take a fight or evade action. Right, that could have been a card. Right.
Yeah. Like if it costs 0 and it was an enemy engages you, you can. Or even if it costs 1 and an enemy engages you, you take an action. Like, would you play this? Over that, like
That's
not very
mostly
often.
what I play this card to do.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this card could have been split into 2 cards. Right. Yeah. And I think that's actually what we've said previously for customizable cards too. Yeah, because Brain, when you played this in your Keimani deck, I was like, that seems kind of sick. That seems kind of sick.
Yeah,
So
it's like pretty cool.
okay, what is next? The Runic Axe, the small Runic Axe. So this one got a score of 21. I gave it a 6. Travis gave it a 5. So that means Bryn, if you do the math, gave it a 10.
Sick. Hey, Bryn, why you like it so much? then?
Because it's a magic axe.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
sick.
Like, do I need to explain it more, or?
No.
I mean, like the actual gameplay of like stupid strong melee weapon that you dumped a ton of XP into is a little bit less than thrilling, but like it's a magic axe.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the magic axe aspect of it is cool.
Yeah.
This would have been higher if I didn't play this card to death. I played it a lot recently, so I'm kind of
Okay.
down on it. I love Inscription of the Hunt is, I think, the strongest inscription you can get on this frickin' thing. It's incredible. And yeah, if you asked me like 2 months ago, it probably would have been like a 7 or an 8, but I've played it to death, so I'm kind of just less hot on it than I was before. But I love it at level 0. It provides a very fun gameplay loop. And even then, like, as long as you don't do... I think, like, Script Weaver is the only one that I've had, like, the least fun with because it just becomes, like, too bonkers. I'd rather do, like, a bunch of inscriptions and then, like, Saga and, like, Ancient Power or something like that, work in that. It's a really fun weapon to play around with, I think. There's a lot of fun for it. But it does have a lot of text. A lot.
Yeah, I know this is like a little hypocritical of me. but
we as humans, we have that power. We can embrace it.
What are you gonna do? Tell me I don't like this?
Yeah, we talked about this a bit in the melee weapons video, and like I kind of actually like just hate the design of this card. It's like I like the design of the level 0 one. I think that's a good level 0 weapon. But there's like so much thought that goes into what can I do, what's the right way to order my things, especially if you're taking Script Weaver, like, you know, like what do I need to imbue my axe with on each attack and stuff like that.
It's just +2 and more damage.
And it's just too efficient for what it does. Too action efficient for a melee weapon. And again, it fulfills that role of like, it has a downside, but eventually the downside becomes negligible, so like it may as well just not.
Was that last week we did the melee weapon video?
Yeah.
Man, the time's been going, what the frick? Alright, next one we got here is actually, this is the one that I think overall we've rated like the most similar, apart from some of the ones coming up here. Which is...
Except for some of the other ones.
No, but I mean like this one, like there's no like no 10 throwing us off, right? Or like no...
2.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll try harder next time.
So this one is custom modifications, which is big, and I'm just getting this. We actually gave this one 7s across the board.
Wow.
For 21 for its score.
Everybody thinks this card is pretty neat.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's all we kind of have to say, right?
Yeah, no, it's like firearm support. That's cool. It's not a card that... It's not like overwhelmingly powerful if you dump 10 experience into it, but it's also not useless at level 0. Why would you do this, Justin? There's so much more screening.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it makes some of the weaker firearms more playable. Really, just they kind of crush you on this one.
I love the one where when you play an event that puts ammo on it, it gets 1 additional ammo. I think that's such cool design. Yeah.
And it does have the similar customizable issues that I do with all the other cards. Just like, you know, you still have to like remember what it does.
And you know, it's I love it because it's. I think it even happened when you're playing Roland because there's so much on it, you even forget that. Oh yeah, I can cancel.
You forget the actual ability on it.
Yeah, the card actually has text.
Yeah.
No,
Well, that happened a couple times. Yeah.
I do quite enjoy the like if an event would put ammo on it, put 1 extra on it with 1 in the chamber, where you're like, did he fire 5 shots or 6 or what was it 4? I don't.
7.
I don't know. I can't. I lost count too.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's find out.
Yeah. There's actually 2 in the chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this one's great, though. I think it's a good one. Okay. We're into everything now is above 20. So these are the ones that I think that we kind of just all think are like...
Weren't the last 2 both above 20?
Really? 20? They were. Yeah, no, we're in the good one stuff now. Whoops.
66%, baby. Good cards. You're first.
Oh, well, I think 60 is like, I consider that card good. You know,
Okay.
There's like great, fantastic above that. Living Ink. This one I gave 7. I gave it a 7.5. Just to say.
Yeah, this one's cool. It doesn't have quite as harsh of memory issues as some of the other ones because you're like, I just make my stat that I'm going to use better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Magic tattoos are cool.
Yep.
The upgrades are just like check another skill, which is like easily referenceable. Yeah, it's easy to check which ones it does because they're circled at the top of the card.
Yeah, and also like you can just take the one where you ignore it, and then you can just like forget about it.
Yep.
And you're like, nah. But even then, I think once again at level 0, just like 1 action for 3 turns to get +1 to your skills. I think is still just
I
fine.
think this card is ass at level 0.
Oh no, I think it's still fine. Like, cause like you don't need to play it like don't play it like immediately. But like say you're in the last 3 turns of the game, you just drop it and you get plus to your last few stats.
I guess if you're like putting on
Yeah.
brain, but
Yeah, how many different unexpected courages is that? Because it's probably at least 1.5.
Yeah.
And that's how we judge things here.
Yeah, and it's all unexpected
So
courages.
how many unexpected courages is this
Yeah.
card worth?
I mean, like once you get the subtle depiction, it becomes like super playable, right? Like once you put the 1 experience in.
yeah, I don't think it takes much to make it good, but I think at level 0 it's like decidedly not great. But it's just like my opinion. It's a
Well,
purple
you don't want to just like mark foot and like be bad at everything else. And you're like, Hypnos, I'm helping.
I'm Hypnos now.
Foot good.
All right, next one we got here is the Raven Quill.
Let's go to rate this one.
You gave it a 6.
Oh, not bad.
I gave it a 7. Bryn gave it a 10 for 23.
Why'd you give us a 10, Bren?
Because it's got a bird on it. No, actually, I think this card is a pretty neat build around.
Yeah.
And I think, like, yeah, there's a lot of words here, but you're also probably going to know what you want it to do.
Yeah,
Right?
this
Like when you show up, you're not putting this in your deck like, well, when I got extra XP, I'm gonna dump it into the Raven Quill. No, you're showing up and you're like, I want to do this cool thing with a different card,
100%.
and I want the Raven Quill to facilitate that by doing X or Y thing.
Yeah, because
right?
a lot of these customizable cards are just kind of like generically good. This one is like, I think it's like custom modifications where it's like it's in a specific build that you're doing where you're looking at doing something specific with it. What did I give it, a 7? Yeah, I mean, I think it's like the most interesting one. I even just like the simple stuff like you just use this on your Grim Memoir to get even more, like just like basically guarantee you're getting your stuff on.
Okay.
No, but Travis, you're not excited about playing this naming Wither, so then you get +2 on your Wither.
No, I'm not. So I actually think this card is like, I guess a 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of neat, but also it's like kind of bad and kind of obsolete. A large part of the things you would, sure it does multiple things, but like a large part of the things you would do with it, you can just do with other cards more efficiently. You want to go find a tome, you just play Research Librarian. You know, you want to put extra charges on yourself, you just play Ariadne's Twine. I mean, that's a like very large part of what this card does.
But what this card then I think would also, even in those like kind of things you're talking about, what this can do is, even if you just like put on interwoven ink onto this, you can now ready your Ariadne's Twine and do it again, right? Like I think it opens up a lot of things in it's like the build around that helps the build arounds, right?
I think that there's like places for it, but I think that they're like incredibly niche. There aren't a lot of things that you can do with this that other cards don't do better.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I like this just because this one I feel like is a fun customizable card because it doesn't feel so just broadly good.
That's fair.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't hate it. I give it a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a bird on it.
All right, and
It does have nice art.
here is our number. Oh, sorry, just kidding. It was there for a second, then I pressed cancel.
God.
It is Friends in Low Places, the number 1 card with a score of 23.5. I gave it an 8. Oh no, is my math wrong? No, this is fine. I gave it an 8. Bryn gave it an 8.5. Travis gave it a 7.
I like this can look for talents. That's about it.
Yeah, like it enables a lot of decks to exist that couldn't before because it was too hard to find the piece of your deck that made it tick.
You know what's pretty sick about this card?
What?
Mandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's gonna get it banned.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, this is too good
100%.
in Mandy, so we've decided that no one is allowed to play with this card anymore.
Phonetics and put together nice segments and phonics.
Yeah. I think this one also is like it obviously gets better when you put more experience in, but I'll play this at 0 to find things, and then you get the thing where just like you get to look at 9, and then you're like golden.
I do one point against this. I give it a 7. Is that it's like has a similar issue like level 2 backpack where it finds things almost too efficiently. Especially like you can be like, I'll look for items.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of items in the game, man.
Yeah.
Play it and name enemy.
Yeah,
Just like, oh no.
I do like though that because like
I do think that's eclipsed a little bit by its ability to find talents and like those niche stupid printing cards they keep printing that are build rounds, but you have no way to get them because your card draw is bad.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because I think like because with this one like you still only get like one card, right? Unless you put more experience into it.
Unless you dump XP into that.
Yeah, but like then like backpack is probably still better for items, right? Because you get to look at 12, get 3.
It's like probably more efficient anyway.
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I like this one for finding rituals, finding talents.
yeah, this one's like kind of reminiscent of Stick to the Plan for me, where it does cost like a buttload of experience, but makes your deck incredibly consistent.
All right.
But overall, yeah, pretty well designed card, I think.
Yeah. So we were at the bottom, now we're at the top with a big difference, a 22.5 point difference
Yo.
between top and bottom.
Can we have a total score versus what the customizable cards could have gotten?
Oh my god. I crossed all them out, but I could put it in the YouTube
Oh,
description.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'd like to know.
I'll try. You know, we can figure that out. We'll do it.
See
not
how much
live.
how we overall think of the customizable cards.
I mean, already 29 points in the hole, or 27 points in the hole is pretty tough to beat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. What customizable cards do you like or do not like? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.